Is it this still mixing up place?
Yeah, PAY, yup. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, family? What's going on?
Yes, they do. They do. You're right, Lex.
Yes. Some people pull that side out of you, though. No, 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 no. We ain't gonna let nobody pull it out of us. We gonna take accountability for our actions. You know what I mean? And we gonna listen. We gonna push to give the best we can give. That's what we gonna do, Lex. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna make listen. We ain't gonna make no excuses about it. You know? And we're gonna rock with people that's gonna bring out the best in us, not the ones that's gonna bring out the worst in us. Cause I get it. Mohair, Dante, Ben 84. All right, so this is a good topic. You know what I'm saying? And I've definitely seen a couple comments already on this topic. And the topic is, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. You know what I mean? And that's very big. That's very big. You know what I'm saying? And it's honestly, y'all, it's a it's a topic that really I want to say just as a community, we've had to deal with, how to talk to each other, how to speak to each other, how we was raised, how was we raised when we came up, what was some of the dialogue that was used, to us when we was young, you know what I mean? And that a lot of times it shapes the way that we speak to other people,
You
how
get
we
a
raise
pillow.
kids and all of that. So, yeah, without further ado, we can get started. You know what I mean? We're gonna lock in. First off, before we even get started, you know what I mean, I wanna say thanks for everybody that's in the room. Just a couple things that we do while we in this room. For one, we speak, and it's a safe environment, a safe space. This is for, adult conversation, you know what I mean? So we're gonna have some topics that we're gonna get into, and it's gonna take some higher level of thought, and we're gonna have some topics where it's just like, look, you know what I mean? We're gonna get down and gritty with it. Share this to anybody that you think that could benefit. It might be somebody that you might say, you know what, I've been telling this person for a long time. It's not what you say, it's how you say it that's gonna get a better response. If you got a person like that, then share this with them. If you got somebody that's just, in a relationship where they feel like it's a bad form of communication, they not quite, getting through to each other, share this live to them because we're gonna go in. Secondly, if you got a comment, of course, holla at us through the comments. You know what I mean? But if you really want to just get something off your chest, you can request to hop in on a live, and then we can kind of go from there. And you can just say what's on your chest. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're not no experts. We just sharing information. And everybody can bring something to the table, and some things you can take with you and gain something from, and some of it, you know what I mean, it just is what it is. Lastly, make sure that if you want to have a question that's out there that's really like a question that you say, I want to see how other people feel about this question. You know what I mean? It might even be a situation. So last week we had
Phone breaking up. Your phone breaking up.
every time I come back here is breaks up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, are you connected to the Wi-Fi over there?
Yeah, is it better now?
A little bit.
All right. But I was going to say, if you have a question that you want us to answer, then hit that question box that's down there, that's next to the share box. Hit that question box because then that way your question can go up and everybody can see it and we can comment on it. But last week we had somebody that came in and just hopped on a live, you know what I mean, and she had a personal situation that she wanted us to give our perspective on. You know what I
Hit
mean?
the
How to
plus camera, the little camera at the bottom with the plus sign.
Yeah, the
Oh,
question
yeah.
was, how do I join? If you want to join on the live, it is a plus sign down there. There's a plus sign, there's a question mark sign, and there's a share sign. Hit that plus sign if you want to join in. And like I said, last week we had somebody that had like a personal situation, and she wanted all of us to kind of, chime in on it and give our perspective on it. And that's what we did. Some of it she liked, and she took, he too. Some of it she didn't like, but at the end of the day, it was a genuine response to a real issue that she had, and she just wanted some feedback on it, and we gave it to her. You know what I mean?
Hi, y'all.
Crystal, what's happening?
Hey, family.
What's going
Hi.
on? Hey,
So
hey,
I'm
listen.
joining.
Crystal, real quick, because we want to give you our undivided attention. I'm gonna have Cherie, you know what I mean, start us off. Oh, I see you got your wine. You got your wine right there, you know. Woo! And that bottle was half empty, so you done already got started. I already
No,
see it.
It's a couple days old wine, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I got you. A couple days old. Wait. All right, Cherie, you can start us off so we can get it popping.
You can do it. You ain't doing nothing.
I,
Yeah, I am doing something. So
You
go ahead.
sitting
Say
down. You're
what you say
not
is how you
cutting.
say it.
No, you're not.
No, I'm still at work.
He's not
Like what
doing
you say is
anything.
how
You're
you
not
say
doing
it.
anything. You're not doing anything, and I know you're not. I can see you. But anyway, I'm Cherie. That's Jamal. And if anybody's new, we've been married for 12 years, and the last 3 years of our marriage was rough. We was on our way out. Then the pandemic happened, and then we decided to start this live just to share different experiences that we have experienced in our marriage and our relationship, how we got through tough times, how we got to where we are today. And, we figured this would be good for everybody to get a better understanding that, you're not the only one who goes through these things in relationship, everyday life. We all go through the same things, and it's okay to be open and transparent because somebody could help you get through whatever you've been through at that time. So here we are today, and the topic is it's not what you say, but how you say it. So, Crystal.
first of all, I want to just say that this forum has been so great. Like, I've been learning so much, and I love it. I've been talking
Thank
about it.
you.
I share it out to people. Well, you already know I post it all the time. But
Hmm.
I really love this. But I just want to say that my mouth lately has been getting me in a lot of trouble in my relationship. And I don't, it's just exactly what the topic is. It's how you're saying things. So,
Hmm.
number one, I think texting somebody, communicating through text is like a no-no. That's where I went wrong at because
Hmm.
people don't interpret things the way that you're saying it.
Right. The way you
Through text,
mean.
huh?
The way you mean.
The way that I mean, yeah, it's like I could be saying, "Hey, babe," and they taking it, "Hey, babe." You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just so that's where my problems been lying. Um, Sending things through text, and he's not interpreting it the way that I'm saying it. And I'm
Right.
like, no, I did not mean it that way. I did not mean it that way. And he's like, no, but you said he's reading it like the way that and it's not that way. So I told him, like, we're gonna stop this trying to communicate through text. We just gotta pick up the phone and just talk it out. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
busy we are, just pick up the damn phone. You
Right.
know? But
I
I
agree.
just feel like lately my mouth has been getting me in so much damn trouble. Seriously.
But
I
it's
really,
not your mouth, it's your text. And clearly it's your fingers.
years like I think I got Twitter fingers.
Not Twitter fingers.
It's like I think I may get a little gangster, you know. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all an example.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask
Yesterday,
for. Give me an
I'm gonna
example.
give you one example. Okay. I text my significant like in the middle, it might have been like in the middle of the day. I noticed like that we didn't even say nothing to each other. So I text and say, "Hey, remember me?" He was like, "Who is me? Who is me?" Like, what the? You see what I'm saying? I'm saying it. I was saying it like, "Hey,
Yeah.
remember me?
Right.
Hello."
Like, hey, what's going on? You all right over there?
He took it. Oh, well, who is me? Why wouldn't I?
Mm.
Who am I supposed to? I don't remember. Let me.
Like you was texting somebody else? Your phone breaking up, Crystal.
I don't know who me is. See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
No, like so what's the backstory on it? You know what I mean? Like y'all, what space are y'all in right now?
we in a good space. We are in a good space. But I feel like the communication is a little off
Mm.
with us right now. I just do. I feel like it's cut out the damn texting because the texting is not working for us. Like
Hmm.
I'm saying hello, remember me, but because I haven't, we get busy. We both are busy people.
Yeah.
I get it, but you gotta, you know. I looked up. I noticed we didn't communicate all day. Like half through the day. I'm like, hello, remember me? You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, so that's my thing. I just
So
feel like the communication, like I just gotta pick up the damn phone. I should have just picked up the phone. Hello. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So now
You
I
think he would have took it differently though if you would have picked up the phone and said the same thing, or he would have had the same response?
I don't think the response would have been the same if I would have said it over the phone. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I really
Yeah.
don't. Because I'm noticing when I'm picking up the phone more and saying my stuff, because I be thinking I'm funny on text. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
yeah,
obviously I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not funny.
yeah.
Obviously, you're not.
I'm not. So I
No,
gotta
but
stop.
I think that's cool because I can see where, and that's why I asked. That's why I asked like what space y'all in because depending upon a lot of times what space we're in, it depends upon how we take things. So, if we're in a good space, a lot of times joking and kidding, it gets taken for joking and kidding. You're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt of a joking and kidding. So, what I mean, you're gonna respond with a joke or what I mean, something to respond with on a jokingly type time. But if it's like you in a bad space, it's like something that might be just a funny little sarcastic thing that you can get away with if you're in a good space. It might be something that won't get taken the right way. That's why I was like, what space y'all in. But
Exactly.
what I mean. But I think it's cool to have like just like that fun loving back and forth. Being able to just like you said, you think you funny, and it might be corny, but it's like fuck it. I'm having fun. I might be in a good mood, so just share that space
Yeah.
with me. Share that energy with me. You know what I
Mm-hmm,
mean?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So like I get that, but the reality of it is, like you saying, at the same time, it's like things can get misconstrued in a text message. You know what I'm saying? It definitely can get misconstrued in a text message. But I mean, I like that. I like that. I feel like my relationship, not even relationship, but my partnership, our friendship. I think like that makes me feel comfortable within a friendship when we can bid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
just like not even with your partner, like even with like a girlfriend or whatever. It feels good to know like you can kind of bid off your friend and they take it, cheek and tongue, and they just kind of take it and run with it and throw it back. It's just like life can be so serious. Sometimes it does feel good to share in those moments of fun with your partner. But I mean, the reality of it is sometimes things can be taken, the wrong way or taken, just not how they supposed to be taken through a text message. So if you would have said it, it might have been, if you would have called or whatever, he might have took it and laughed like chill out. You could have called me earlier or whatever. You know what I mean? Like stop that, like
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I do know that, it would have been a little bit different if I would pick up the phone, but my mouth, I'm just being mindful lately of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it.
yeah.
I
What?
really am. Because it's times when I feel like I'm about to say something, I'm like, oh, back it up, Crystal. This is not,
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about him, he don't play. He do not play. He be like, hold up, Crystal. wait a minute, you're not gonna be disrespectful. He
Mhm.
checks the crap out of me,
Yeah.
okay? He be like, oh, hold up. You're not gonna talk to me like that, you know.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I wasn't saying it like that because you are reading the text, you're reading it wrong.
Right.
That's why I said F these text messages because I stayed in some shit. I was on punishment for like a couple of weeks. Put me on punishment.
Wow.
I'm out of that doghouse and I'm trying to stay the hell out of it at this point.
But
So
is
let me
he
ask
a
you a
good
question.
communicator? Because
Uh,
why is text such an issue? Like,
It's
why
not
does
an
he?
issue. The text is not an issue. He doesn't interpret it the way that I'm saying it.
mm,
Hmm. But
So
if he know like that you like to joke and laugh and play,
he don't
then
obviously I don't think he thinks I'm funny or
uh,
I think I'm funny.
you probably are.
I think I'm hilarious as
You
hell. I
probably.
crack my own damn self up
Yeah.
over here, okay?
go say
Yeah.
I
Yeah. No, but it's the energy though. It's all right. So the topic for anybody that's just joining is it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I mean? And I also feel like it's not, and how you say it has to do with your tone, but it also has to do with the energy that you bring it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I can appreciate when you're within a relationship and you're trying to bring up the energy of the relationship. Even if I'm at work, right? I done had like some of my favorite places that I've either worked or spaces I've been in is because I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna bring the positive energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't give a damn
That's
if we
me.
on a railroad, you know what I mean? We gonna be hitting this motherfucking bing. That's the sound of a man kick back, rocking on a chain. Ha.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
That's
bring that
me.
energy, because it when you bring the right energy to a situation, it doesn't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? We already got a lot going on. You know what I mean? If we are trying to accomplish something, let's get on the same page. Let's bring the right energy. So whether you funny or not, don't even really matter. It's like, what is the energy you trying to bring to our situation? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who cares? Like, if it's quote unquote funny to me at that time, you bringing some funny energy, you bringing some good energy. Let's ride with it. Let's feed off of that. And I think that's important too. That as partners, we have to understand the non-verbal language. Because right now we talking about verbal language. You know what I mean? Not what you say, but well, it's verbal and non-verbal language because it's not just what you say, but it's how you say it. But as a team, as a partner, like we have to recognize the energy that our partner is giving off, the non-verbal. So just because it didn't make you laugh, it doesn't mean you shouldn't add to the happiness or the joy or the positive energy that's being shared with you. That shit is
Mm-hmm.
so tacky when somebody, wants to just, bring like a blandness to a upbeat moment where we trying to just
Like a
I'm trying to
Debbie
make things.
Downer.
That is the worst thing because it's like you're doing it intentionally because if your boss comes and hey Jermaine, how are you today? Hey, how you doing, Mr. Sampson? And it's like, nigga, it wasn't even that funny. But you matched his energy at your job. But when me, your partner, comes to you and I'm just trying to bring a little, hey, you want to be like, well,
Yeah, it ain't that
he
funny.
was all that about. It's like we got to do better, and we all have our moments. So it's not really to just come and spotlight that on one side, but it's like as a team because we're a partnership. We got to work on like understanding our energy and just responding. To work towards having that positive energy. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might be down. I need to bring some good energy to you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think you
So.
on to something. I think he a damn Debbie Downer. That's what he is. Because the
Mm.
other day, let me give you another
I'm
example.
not trying to start nothing. I promise you,
You
I'm
ain't
not.
starting now, but really
Okay.
he is Debbie Downer. Because it just hit me. My best friend, right, the other day, she was her fiance sent her something that he wants her to wear for his birthday is this week. So he sent her like this lingerie thing with these boots or something. So I said, she found the thing. And I said, well, did you find the boots? She said, no, because the boots don't go with the outfit. So I said to her, that's the problem. We are not listening because I said, I look at a lot of podcasts and stuff. If that's what he wants you to wear, it don't matter if it go or not. It's in the bedroom. That's what he wants you to wear. Order the damn boot and order the shirt. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yes, he did order it. My whole thing is, it don't matter if it go or not. You're not going out on the street with it on. That was my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I saw this thing, it said, like, this man said what he wanted for his birthday. He said, I just wanted to stay in, I wanted to have sex and get a meal or whatever. The wife coming, oh, we going out and we going to do this and do all that. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I said what I wanted to do. So now I'm looking like I'm not happy because I told you I wanted to stay in. So I was giving her that example. I gave her that.
Yeah.
So I said, he's saying, he sent it to you. And he sent it to you not only once, he sent it to you twice. He said, I want you to wear this and these boots. She had somebody do a reverse lookup and all that. I said, oh, good. So you found the thing. But did you get them to do the reverse lookup for the boots? No, because I'm not going to get the boots. I'm like, well, see, that's the problem. You should wear both. He's asking you to wear both. So she's like, no. I said, okay. So I said, she said, well, Crystal, you don't be listening to your man either. I said, well, how don't I listen? Name one thing. She said, them damn lemon drops that you be drinking.
Oh, he don't like the lemon drops?
He a hate on my damn lemon drop. Because my community that I live in, right, I just built my house like last year. So I live in a community. Thank you. And the girls come over and we have lemon drops and he be like, you are not going to be known as Miss Lemon Drop. You're not a one-trick pony. So he just don't want me to be like known as Miss Lemon Drop. You know, it's not that he don't like me drinking them, but it's just like cool out a little bit. So she was like, "You still drinking them lemon drop?" So I thought that was funny as hell. So I told him the joke. He didn't think it was funny. She said, what about the lemon drops? He ain't laugh. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, but here go the good part about it. Like, the good part about it too is, you know what I mean, that's really what communication, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always say communication is big and it's so cliche and it seems, so, just, we constantly use that term, but I mean, it is important. You know what I mean? Communication is important. And you figure that's something you can really sit down and talk to, talk to your partner about, like, just all jokes aside, whenever the time is appropriate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know your partner good enough to know when the time is appropriate.
When it's appropriate.
Just like whenever the time is appropriate, like, because I feel like, hey, like, anything we doing in life, we should want to progress. You know what I mean? And that's the topic of discussion. Like, this is something that I feel, this is something that for me would take our relationship to the next level. Just having more of that casual, connection. That laughing and bonding connection, that high energy connection. You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't have to be uptight all the time.
Right, just kind of loosen it up a little bit.
We know you doing business and all that, but when you gotta let your hair down sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's not all about business and transactions and stuff. Like, let's live life. Like, that's what I'm all about. I want to live life. I want to have fun. Like, we, of course, we do our business and stuff too, but I want to live life. I want to enjoy it too. So we don't gotta be so serious all the time.
All right. So let me ask you a question, right? Because one of the things you said, and this has been a good discussion because for anybody that just joined in, the topic, of course, is not what you say, it's how you say it. But we talking about also nonverbal language, you know what I mean? And having your partner being able to read your nonverbal language. Because all of that is a part of us communicating.
It is.
So you've talked to us, you told us about how, sometimes the text message, and this is another form of communication, is, text messaging and all of the like digital forms of communication, whether it's email, whatever, I don't know, and how it can be taken the wrong way when
Yes.
you text messaging somebody. Now, that example you gave us was an example you were just trying to have fun and be fun with it. But you said sometimes your mouth gets you in trouble. So, is there an example or a time where your mouth got you in trouble because you had a little bit too much attitude on a negative side? You know what I mean? Or like an attitude, you might have had felt some type of way about something, and you gave off an energy that may have got you into trouble on that side. Have you ever had any issues from that perspective?
Yeah, like when I just got out the doghouse a couple weeks ago, right? I I I text him again, and I'm like, hey, how's your day going? We was texting. He started off. He texted me and said, look, he said, I'm at he was at traffic court, so he took a picture of all the people, and I said, oh well. Me being me, I was like, oh well, it's almost it's like 4 something. I said they'll start speeding up. The people will start speeding up because they want to get out of here. About 4:30, 5 o'clock, they start moving because they want to get out the door.
Yeah.
So he was in there. So I did not know that, really what was going on. He just said, I'm in here. He didn't say like it was issues or anything like that. So I said to him, I said, well, won't you, come over or whatever, because nobody at my house, nobody's there. Nobody's there tonight. Just come over or whatever. And so then I text something else. So he was taking it like I was like pushing him, like, oh, you got it, like strong arming him. And I said, so I went in. I said, well, first of all, I don't never want to feel like, I'm like pretty much begging you to see me or whatever. So don't worry about it. You don't got to never worry about me asking you to ever come again. So I kind of like, went in a little bit. I did. I went in or whatever. And so and they said, oh, don't be disrespecting me. But I forget what I said, but I don't think it was disrespectful. I don't remember what I said, but it's just that it's if we would have picked up the phone, it would have been better.
Yeah.
Because I would have felt his tone like, look, I'm in traffic court and, these tickets are out of control. I would have felt his temperature. I didn't know what the temperature was. I'm just looking at it like, oh, I'm thinking he there, probably making arrangements, but I didn't know it was as deep as it was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I picked up the phone like, hey, babe, what you doing? How's it going in here? Oh, it's crazy in here. Or, I would have heard the frustration in his voice.
Yeah.
Like, this deeper than what I'm thinking it is.
No.
You don't think so?
No. And the reason why I do not agree with that is because just because he's in traffic court and you texting him like, hey, it's not like you like on some aggressive or you got a problem and you coming at him about something that got something to do with y'all and then it just takes him at a 10. No, that doesn't give him the right to take his anger and frustration out on you in that moment because of what's going on with him. So no.
So what I said was, let me.
Oh, now you can't look up no text message and be on.
She trying to look up her text message. She really this must have been an issue. She want to get down to exactly what she said so she can put it out there. So I guess we can evaluate maybe if she was a little bit, bossy or pushy about him coming to see her. And we never know. Like sometimes it could have came off a different way than what she was trying to portray it. But the moral of that story is ultimately, you text message a lot, and 9 times out of 10 a text message is going to be misconstrued. Like it's very, it can be misconstrued. It's a lot of times if you really want to get a point across, of course, give somebody a call. But then the second part of that is sometimes we can't be so uptight, and I think we need to kind of probably know when the time is right to text, or just when is the time to just like get right in and have a conversation. But anyway, Sheree, since we're talking about the topic of it's not what you say, but how you say it. What are your thoughts on the topic for tonight?
Um, I mean, I think that I think majority of the time is it's not what you say, but how you say it. But sometimes you have to say the way you have to say it because you may have said it the way you were supposed to say it and it wasn't registering or it wasn't clicking. So it was like now you may have to say it a little bit different sometimes depending on the circumstances. But I mean, I definitely think for the most part, it's not what you say, is how you say it for most situations. Some situations it can go there. Like, I mean, and I feel like even with her talking about what happened with the text, she went there because he went there. And sometimes that's what happened with us too. Like, it just catch you off guard and you don't catch yourself to be like, let me not feed into whatever is going on with this person because it don't have nothing to do with me. So sometimes we just react without thinking about the situation. So it's like somebody say something to you, like he said what he said to her, or because he upset about being in parking authority, and she just all like, "Hey, what?" Being her normal, bubbly self, and he taking it like she's on some other type time, like don't be trying to push me or control me or tell me where I should go and all this other stuff, and you like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then it don't make it no better if he's saying certain things that's like, what are you talking about? Now you taking me off my square. Now it's going back and forth and it's turning into something else that it never even had to be because, even if she didn't talk to him physically on the phone for her to know like his energy in that moment, he could have been like, hey, I'm gonna text you when I get out of here. There's ways to handle certain situations, but again, us we do that blame game. We play the blame game like, no, because you said, and no, you like, wait, then now you got to second guess with the text message that you sent, and you got to go back and read it and be like, well, wait, all I said was, and it go from 0 to 100, all because that person is bothered by something else and they're taking it out on you, which is not cool. So sometimes it's not always what you say, and it's how you say it. That's not all the time. Not most situations, anyway. To me.
Yeah, I mean, I I definitely agree with you. You know, what I mean, sometimes we can have like misdirected anger and whatnot. But again, um, I think it has a lot to do with how you say it. I think how you say something a lot of times reflects the amount of respect you have for you know your partner or for your situation. You know what I mean? If you respect your partner or your situation, then you're going to approach it with saying things in a manner of caring and love as much as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Because ultimately, this is somebody that you respect, you know what I mean? And, let's just say you married or whatever like that, you respect and honor this person. You're going to always speak to that person with a certain amount of love and compassion because that's a part of y'all growing, and it shows the level of respect you have for that person and for that situation. You know what I mean? And yeah, we do got times where it's not going to be perfect, but if we have a gauge, then I'm going to say the side of perfect, or the side of the better side would be the side that we choose when we're speaking to the people that we care about with love and compassion. Like, you know what I mean? That's just the standard. That's the highest. That's the mark. That's what we should shoot for. Anything less than that, we're missing the mark for whatever reason. And we can have a multitude of um, you know I guess reasons for not speaking, with a certain amount of compassion and love and genuineness. But if we don't do that, then I think we're missing the mark. And for me, it's very important because and this is a topic that's very important for me because I know that growing up, the way my mother spoke to me, the way my dad spoke to me, is what built the foundation for who I am. Like it's nothing anybody can say to me to make me second guess who I am because I've been spoke to with love and compassion since I can remember. And those things, they, they are lasting. They last forever. So, what I mean, to because I know how that impacted my life, I know how important that is. You know what I mean? And when you care about somebody, when you respect somebody, then you're going to talk to them with love and with respect, and they're going to feel it. So, what I mean? Like I said, to me, um, from my example, like just from my life, my own experience, I know how important words are and how important they can be. And when you care and love for somebody, like that should be something that you hold in a high regard and aim to have the relationship with somebody where y'all can share within that space, what I mean, of love and compassion. Like that's important. And I don't even think that's like asking too much. Like it can happen. It's all kind of stuff that goes on in this world. It's all kind of negative stuff that's on social media. It's all kind of negative stuff that you hear, when you leave your house. It's negative stuff you see on TV. You know, I don't think it's asking too much for the people that are in your household, the people that you care about, the people that you decide to bring into your space, your personal space, should be the people that's just giving you the opposite of all the negative that's going on around you. That's speaking you up, that's coaching you up, that's motivating you up, you know, like that should be high priority because other than that, that's not a beneficial relationship. If I can't get the same, if I can't get anything different from you than I can get out in the street, then what is the benefit of having someone around? If I can't
Yeah,
get,
but I mean,
you know what I mean?
if you're not treating just, I mean, everybody may feel like the way they were raised, they was getting that love and they respect, but that doesn't mean that you gonna grow up and be the same way. That doesn't mean that you're gonna treat certain people the way you want to be treated. Some people still can be disrespectful and rude. I don't care who raised you. You can still be nasty and disrespectful and not really know it. Like, people walk around all the time and be nasty and disrespectful and was raised by the best out here and gave them love and affection and made them feel good about themselves and told them, you a king, you a queen, you this, you that. And they're the most nastiest creatures in the world. So, I mean, at the same time, I don't believe that that's 100% true when it comes to how you were raised or how your parents treat you, because some people are still nasty and they don't realize that they're nasty to some people. They don't understand like the things that they say, because sometimes you have people that are very cocky because they feel like they're I'm beneath you, or I mean you're beneath me and I'm above you and I'm this and I'm that. Like, and they carry themselves with a high regard, but they're nasty and disrespectful to people. So when somebody is nasty and disrespectful to them, they're like, who do you think you talking to? But how do you expect somebody to be respectful of you if you nasty to them and you don't even realize you're being nasty to them? Like, you got people out here like that, and that don't have nothing to do with how you were raised or anything like that. It's a lot of people out here who are nasty and mean to people, and then when they get that same energy back, oh no, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. It's like, oh, what's your problem? Who raised you? Like, and that don't have anything to do with it. It's called, if I'm giving you the energy that you're giving me. If you're nasty and being disrespectful to me, I'm gonna be nasty and disrespectful to you. So it should be, we need to be trying to figure out, how we got here. Because in the beginning, people don't wake up like that. People don't wake up and just be nasty and disrespectful to people in general. Like, I mean, everybody's not like just wake up like that at all. Like, it happens that way over time, and just how, they have been treated, towards people. And again, like I said, some people handle people based off how that person in particular handles them. So if they're nasty towards, if that person is nasty towards them, they're going to be nasty towards them. If it's somebody that every time they see, they got positive energy, they make them feel good when they're around, they're going to be like, hey, how you doing? They're going to give them that same exact energy. And it doesn't matter how mean they are to the other person, but that one particular person that's nice and sweet to them all the time and don't be mean to them, they're going to get that same positive energy. Yeah, they lose respect for people because if you constantly are treating a person nasty and being mean to them and just like trying to belittle them and talk to them like you better than them all the time, and you're not trying to give them the respect that they really deserve, yeah, you just hold resentment towards that person. Like, it don't come out of nowhere. Everybody don't just wake up like, oh, I don't like. I mean, even those people that be doing that craziness, but nobody really just be like, oh, I don't like them. I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's how they're being treated by people. Like, and that's our problem that we don't really want to accept. Like, sometimes we can be nasty towards certain people. Like, you know, because that person might have really done something to them, and you know, they really never really fully addressed the problem or had a conversation with that person to say, listen, like, I didn't like how you handled me this last time or that time. And, you know, moving forward, it just made me look at you at a different light. And a lot of times that happens a lot with business, with friendships. You know, it'd be one small little situation, like somebody just being disrespectful and being out of character towards you, and then you give it on the side eye, like, what's up? Like, what is that about? And because it doesn't get properly addressed, it rolls over, and then something else happens, and then it keep happening, and then becomes a pattern, and it just always stay that way, and then that person just gets stuck with that mindset, like, oh, I know how to handle you. I'm gonna give you the same exact energy you're giving me. It is what it is. Like, you gotta keep in mind how you just handle people sometimes. Like, you know, and you know, hear them out. They say, like, I didn't like the way you talked to me when we talked about whatever, or I didn't like that text message you sent me, or you know, I asked you to do something and you brushed it off. Like, you just gave me this negative energy about it or whatever. Like, it'd be so many different things that causes a person to just react or say certain things. You don't just wake up like that.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, we saying the same thing. Ultimately, you know what I mean? Is not, you know what I mean? It is what you say. I mean, it is what you say, and it's how you say it. You know what I mean? And you know, that's my whole point. Like, I'm not here to debate how you should respond when somebody doesn't have respect for you. You know what I mean? I'm not here to debate how you supposed to, you know, react if somebody, you know what I'm saying, isn't treating you with respect, or how you supposed to, you know, be treated. You know, the conversation is not what you say, but how you say it. You know what I mean? And I'm standing on that wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? If you want to, you know what I mean, if you want to produce, even when we, again, I went to the, you know, as a childhood, if you want to produce, you know, children that are happy, that are self-assured, that are confident, then you want to speak greatness into them. I'm not here for that debate. You know what I mean? I mean, it just is what it is. You know, there's nobody that can tell me that you can speak negatively into a child. You know what I mean? And that's going to give them a better outlook and a better feel for themselves, self-assurance when they go out in public. You know what I mean? It's literally tests that they've done where, you know what I mean, with a plant, you can speak negatively, put, you know what I mean, rock and roll music on a plant, then put classical music to it, speak to it and all that, and it grow different. So that's not even You know what I mean? That's not even up for debate. You know what I mean? In terms of speaking life, I would never, as an adult, even want to be on the side of debating to speak negatively to, you know what I mean, to a child. I mean
Nobody.
that.
I didn't say that. I said some people don't know how to handle that. Some people don't, like, as you get older. Some people don't know how to be humble. It's okay to have all the positivity and everything else like that, but you can't be an asshole towards other people because you holding your head up high and all that other stuff. What you have today can be gone tomorrow. Like, so you still have to be humble at the end of the day. You can't not be humble, even though, like, you're a king, you're a queen, yes, but you still have to be humble at the same time. You just can't be nasty to people in general. Like, you
Yeah,
gotta
so
have
we're
respect
not.
for people just and overall as a whole. Like, and reason why I say that, considering like my job and where I work at, like, it's people who come in, no good morning, no how you doing. And when they got an issue, sometimes they can be very rude and disrespectful. And it's like, well, I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
so that's what I mean. Like, like, I'm not taking away from speaking positivity into your children and things like that. You are supposed to do that, but you don't want your child to go outside and just be, if somebody says something to them, they're being disrespectful because they don't know how to say the proper things to certain people at times. So that's what I mean, because I want you supposed to speak positivity into your child because you want them to be great. You want them to
Hey
be
yo, what's the
amazing.
topic?
Bradshaw, what
It
up?
ain't what you say, it's how you say it, sis.
So what y'all talking? Y'all like real deep right now. It's kind of like what y'all talking about.
Yeah, so basically, all right. So basically, I was saying, so we were talking about the importance of not what you say, how you say it. So I'm on the side,
Right.
of course, of it's very important that with people that you love and care about, that you speak life into them, that you speak positive into them, that you speak with just genuineness, with love and care. You
So
know. Then I
do you do
went.
that with kids all the time?
Say that one more time.
Do you do that with your kids all the time?
Yes.
So like when your kids do dumb shit, I just can only be like blunt.
Mhm.
When your kids do dumb shit, is it okay to like call them an idiot? But then like like how do you handle that? I'm just asking.
Yeah, so if my kids do dumb shit, then they gonna get what's appropriate for dumb shit. But I'm not going to wake up in the morning with a negative attitude with my kids. I'm not going to, you know what I mean, not praise my child for an accomplishment. I'm not going
Right.
to not tell my kids, you look good, you're beautiful, you're a king. I'm not going to not, speak life into my kids. If they do dumb shit, then you getting called on the dumb shit you're doing. We
But
have that gear too. But
right. So
I,
crazy.
I'm leading with the gear of, speaking life into my kids.
Right. So what's crazy is I'm only asking that question is because I know it's not like what you say and how you say things.
Hmm.
So for me, I have been working on it a lot. So, but for me and my kids, since you spoke on the kids, for my oldest daughter, she used to always do dumb stuff all the time, and I used to be like, "Yo, you stupid! Like that was stupid.
Hmm.
You stupid." Like that was like whatever the cause for it, like whatever she did that moment, I
Hmm.
used to always like you stupid. Like that was dumb. Like you
Yeah.
stupid, right?
Hmm.
Now as she was probably like she's 16 going on 17 now. She was 17 like 2 months. So like at like 15, we had like a heart to heart and she was like, like for a long time I used to think I was dumb because you used to call me dumb. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
what? Like, bro, you're not dumb, you're smart, you've been in honors, da 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 da. But it's just kind of like you just made dumb choices, and at that particular moment you was like that was dumb, not you're dumb, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I definitely get it, but it's kind of like, don't you not like back in the day your mom used to be like, I feel like I'm always a rebel when I get on here, but don't you not
Talk
like
to
back in
me.
the day
Uh-huh.
when your mom used to be like, damn, what I want to say, when your mom used to be like, What the fuck I was about to say? Um. Oh my
But
god, I got a.
like something negative, like she say.
I mean, let me just will it back in because I really forgot. I really got a brain fart, but because I feel like I'm always a rebel, and I feel like I'm always like going against something, but always kind of relate back to it.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like you gotta develop kind of like tough skin. Oh, that's not like your mom used to be like, it ain't no handbook into parenting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's hard to be. I know there's like a different type, but it's kind of hard to be like a single parent type of person, even if even if you're in a household. Sometimes a lot of weight falls on one parent only for because some parents are like a disciplinarian and a friend. So I be looking at me when I be like acting crazy sometimes with Chloe or Carly, like they be probably like, this lady is bipolar because one minute she my friend acting regular and the next minute she not. But it's kind of like I may say, Car, don't do that. Don't do that, Carly.
Mm-hmm.
Car, stop doing it. But she don't. But then when I say, yo, sit the f down, or like raise my voice, that's what she understands it. You get what I'm saying? And like that's what
Mm-hmm.
she's. So it's kind of like, yeah, sometimes it do be what you say and how you say it. I just feel like it just calls for the time of what you say and how you say it. Like if you at Cherie job, like she's been saying, and like somebody's being rude, and Cherie's having a bad day already, it's like what? And yes, and it's kind of like, okay, Mrs. Hilton, like you ain't feel like coming to work today. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Exactly.
You know what I
Not knowing
mean?
like
But
they giving off that energy from the jump. You like
right. Right, because there's plenty of times you go to establishments and they be rude as crap, and you be like, "Bro, I'm
mm-hmm.
just trying to order a beverage. That's all. I
Right.
don't,
And
you
these
know."
is lawyers, doctors, like real
Yeah,
like professional people and like who was
right.
raised good. You be like, hey yo.
Right. And it's kind of like I had to fix my disposition because, like, for a long time, everybody used to be like, she's mean and she's mean. And I'm like, bro, I'm really not mean. I'm really like a funny person. I'm really not mean. But it was my disposition and what I was saying and how I was saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
mean, honestly, I think that like over time, you know what I'm saying, we have to evolve, you know what I'm saying, as people, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's certain things that and as a people, we've been through so much shit that a lot of the stuff that we do is inherited, but it's also toxic as shit. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So stuff like whipping our kids' ass, you know what I mean? And I used to get my butt whooped, you know what I mean? I used to get my ass whooped, whatever the case may be. But you know what I mean? I don't feel like it was like too much or whatever. Like I earned it if I got my ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? I did some shit, but where that came from was like when we was enslaved, when we was in bondage. The slave master would tear your fucking kids up if they got out of line. So what you wanted to do to protect your child is you wanted to whip his ass or her ass. So master wouldn't whip his ass or her ass. So we just held on to the notion that to keep our children in line, we gonna whip their ass. And we've been doing that for years, and that shit ain't. And we've been beating the inspiration out of some of our kids. We've been beating the confidence out of some of our kids, and we wonder why. Like, damn, why am I? I may not have the confidence that I feel like I should have, or I may not be as self assured as I should be. I don't want to get up and talk in front of people, or I'm shy. And this and the third. Some of us got that shit whipped out of us. So as adults, like you said, it ain't no perfect parent. And at that time, that probably was what was best, honestly, because it probably was best that your parent whipped your ass instead of letting master do it, because it could have went completely 180, and that could have been something, that could have been drastic. So
Well, do you
at
know
that
this
time,
J.W. Moore 25?
no. I mean, we give him a shot. You can always cancel him out or something, right? If not, but anyway, but those things were appropriate at that time, as drastic as it was, that may have been appropriate at that time. So as we moving forward, we have to make adjustments. I'm not big on whipping my kids' ass. I don't do a whole lot of ass whipping. I have to use my own creativity on how I'm going to motivate my kids to do certain things, you know what I mean, to do what I expect them to do. I got to be creative. That's really a lazy ass way to just resort directly to whipping your kids' ass because they did some kid shit. Like,
What's wrong?
what's wrong?
What's
What?
wrong? Who I gotta fuck up? I'm sorry,
Oh,
y'all.
you want to Yeah, so I mean, to me, that's just, you know what I mean, that's just us not growing up, and we got to evolve. Like, we should be pushing the envelope to, and it's not easy. A lot of times we was getting ass whoopings because our parents had a long ass day at work. You know what I mean? And or they stressing, or the bills need to be paid and we ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Or we about to get kicked out. And I seen it. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've been in the schools. I've been a dean of students, and I've seen, you know, and been a part of just in my life. It ain't like I'm detached from it. You know what I mean? We've been whipping our kids' asses out of stress. We've been cussing our kids' asses out of our own stress. And it's a little ass kid. And a lot of times it be parents bullying the shit out of kids, but you wouldn't do that shit to a fucking adult. You know what I mean? If you at your job and somebody get disrespectful with you, you want to keep your job, so you gonna take this most professional route. But with your kids, you gonna cuss them the fuck out. And I'm not saying they don't get cussed out here and there. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying we don't give that same energy with anybody else. But when it comes to the people that we so called love and care about the most, we they don't get no second chance. They don't get our professional side. I mean, if your family is your job, then there's a certain professionalism that needs to go on in your household too. Like, you worried about your boss, you know what I mean? This, that, and the third. No, you the boss of your house. Y'all have a certain protocol and you have a certain responsibility to them, and they should be upheld, and you should be treating them professionally like you do at your job. Because no, everybody's scared to get fired. You know what I mean? So everybody want to be on their best behavior. I'm just saying we got enough energy to use that with the people that we love and we care about. So it's time to evolve, you know what I mean, and take it to the next level, because that same compassion that you use in your household may be the same compassion that somebody out in the street use for, you know what I mean, use against you and say, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I got love in my heart, my man. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead and you go your way, I'm gonna go my way. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna take it from there. As opposed to getting raised off of, listen, if a nigga out of line, set that shit off right then and there, this, that, and the third. And now we got, you know what I'm saying, a community of people that got the compassion whipped out of them, to the point where when they see you in the street, it ain't no attachment to your pain. You know what I mean? And that's not a good thing. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's a problem. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's a little bit of how I feel on it. My good brother, how we doing?
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks for the ad, man. Listen,
Absolutely.
you hit
Absolutely.
on some key points, brother.
Okay.
This conversation I had the other day, you hit on some key points. I think this generation, first off, the generation gap is getting smaller. So you got father, son, and grandson hanging together. Back when I grew up, the generation gap was bigger. So I didn't hang out with my dad and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got a lot of parents who are, like you said, beating, basically abusing their children to try to teach them a lesson, and all they're doing is instilling insecurities, fear, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem into the youth. And we see it play out with the legal system. We see it play out in the behavior in school. It's crazy that y'all having this conversation, because it speaks directly to something I was talking to someone the other day about, different things that happen in the school system with Philadelphia, with the kids. They're now obeying the teachers, and the fights, the way disputes are handled is now because of the upbringing.
Can
Everyone feel they need to.
can I say one thing real quick? Because I don't think that like me whipping my daughter ass is, I mean, and it's just my opinion. I don't think me whipping my daughter ass because she did something is the reason why she's not behaving in school. I think that, I mean, this is my personal opinion. Now, I get the whole how maybe they parents handle conflict, or maybe how they parents like the like I get displayed behavior 100%. But if my kids like I just got on pause because these kids were just in here acting crazy, but it's like somebody got to be in the force. So that's why that's why early on I said sometimes I be feeling like I know sometimes my kids probably think I'm bipolar, but like I'm the only one legit in this house, and there's 8 kids in here, and I'm the only adult in here. It's probably 12 kids upstairs. I'm the only adult here, and that's why they all scared of me, only because of like how my picture go or how my voice will go or whatever the case may be. And I don't think that's instilling making them have low self-esteem, because like I am that parent. So but my kids don't have you know, I ain't gonna say low self-esteem, and they don't handle. Now when my kids curse, and I had to apologize to the teacher and say, "Oh, my bad," because I was cursing, like me, the adult, cursed around my kids. So I think that's where she got that language from. And my bad, I'm gonna work on me cursing. You know what I mean?
But
So I don't
that,
think that,
now,
and that's my opinion. But I don't think that like you can solely say if you whip your kid's ass that it's going to this. You know what I mean?
no,
Or
I
no?
didn't say that. Now, the point I was trying
Oh,
to make
okay.
is the point I was trying to make. Now, granted, I got 2 kids. I got a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I whip their asses if they get out of line. But it's a difference. It's a
We ain't
difference
disputing that
between.
now.
It's a
Go ahead.
difference between chastising your child and abusing your child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in the supermarket earlier today in them long lines, and I just seen a parent just had to have been 3-year-old picking candy up, just cursing like it's an adult, and then gripped them up and literally slammed them in the cart. And I'm looking like that's just out of pocket. It's a way you can chastise your kids. And let me rephrase. When I ain't saying whip their ass, it's a way you can chastise their kids,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
spank them without belittling them, without killing them, without
Yes.
taking away from them,
Mm-hmm.
without making them feel inferior. You know,
Okay.
my 15-year-old son, he got a lot of whippings, but it's to the point now that he fear more me sitting him down, talking to him in disappointment than he fear the whipping.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My dad,
Right.
God rest his soul, I would rather my dad had whipped me growing up than versus see his face because I let him down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that comes from a strong bond between the parent and child. That comes
Yeah.
from strong teaching between parent and child. And that's from being the example. When I was growing up, I did some dumb stuff. And you know what I was scared of? It wasn't that I was scared my dad was going to beat me when I got home. I was scared that he was going to sit down and give me that look. You know, every parent got that look.
You're
And it's
right.
like, yo, that
And I
disappointing look hurt me more than I used to wish, yo, dad, just spank me, don't talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I think
crazy.
that got lost in parenting.
It did. And the reason why I believe it got lost, because think about it. I'm 40. When I grew up, mom and dad was old, grandma was older. Grandma had car nights at our house. I heard about it, I never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and dad had friends over. When they was over, I was upstairs or I was downstairs. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't around their friends. I didn't know my dad drank until I started driving his truck and I was finding the beer cans in the little brown paper bags.
Mm.
See, the little things like that are getting lost these days. Parents are smoking weed, drinking with their children, hanging out in bars with their children. Now, if that's what you do, I'm not knocking you. But that generation gap is not there anymore. So now we got everyone in the same generation trying to teach each other.
Mm.
How can I pass knowledge down to you if we're in the same generation?
Let
How
me.
can I instill things in you?
I want to add. I want to add to that too. So, Bradshaw, you were saying like so. Say you were saying you don't think that, and I want you to correct me or whatever if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
So, Bradshaw, you were saying you don't think that was it yelling at your kids or whooping your kids would lead to them not being
Mhm.
confident or whatever. Which was what words
Yeah,
did you use?
I don't think that like whooping your kids ass equates to them having low self confidence. I feel like people don't. I feel like a lot of these kids need to get they chest caved in. Like legit, when I just put my phone on mute, my little cousin he fucked his mom, and he just came there and kicked my other little cousin in the face. and he taller than me, and I just had to literally bust him in his face, and he just fell into the wall because don't play with me. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't think chastising your kids equates to them having low self-esteem, because sometimes I think that they think because they don't get in trouble at home that they can do whatever they want outside in the street, and because of the fear. So like, I feel like for me and my kids don't do certain stuff because it's like for me, I'm even say me, I didn't do certain stuff as a kid because like he just said, like the look at my mom's face, like, man, I don't feel like getting my ass whooped now. You get what I'm saying? Or like, even if that one time I came in the house late, I knew my mom was gonna meet me at the door. So it just was like, I'm out to just stay out, like, and come in at 11:30.
So
Like, shame on
listen,
you.
let
Yeah,
me.
enjoy them
I
last
stay
I
minutes.
out.
wanted to. I wanted you to.
Right.
I wanted you to frame what you were saying, and I'm gonna say too. This is good that we have. You know what I'm saying. That we got. You know what I'm saying. Adults that's having a conversation about not what you say, but how you say it. You know. What I mean? And it led to chastising our children, how we speak to them, and even how we reprimand them, or whatever the case may be. So what I would say to what you were saying in
Having a
terms of
little
how you reprimand your children, what
mm-hmm.
happens is, and ain't no one way, ain't nothing outside of mathematics. There's very few things outside of mathematics that's a definite. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we not speaking definites. But what I will say is that if we set the tone for the only thing that our children respect is when we cuss them out, if we set the tone that the only time our children respond to us is when we whip their ass, then how is that going to look when they're in the classroom? So that means if my teacher isn't cussing me out, I ain't paying no mind. Because if my mom don't cuss me out, I ain't paying no mind. If my teacher's not whipping my ass, I ain't paying no mind. Because if my mom don't whip my ass, I ain't paying no mind. So
Mm-mm.
we
I don't think that equates to
to
that.
to a
Um,
certain degree, to a certain degree, um, we also setting a precedence for the world. And I think that a lot of times we're leading with, with fear, and some of these same things can be rectified with a great relationship with love. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. If I had teachers, man, some of the teachers that I performed the best with was the motherfuckers that I built that whatever reason we had a great connection. We had a great bond. They believed
Took
in
an interest
me.
in you.
They took an interest in me. They taught shit fun, and
mhm.
they wasn't the motherfuckers. We had motherfuckers that shut shit down. Don't get me wrong. And I'm going to shut shit down. I'm going to be a robot to what you asked me to do. But the motherfuckers that was creative, the motherfucker was fun. They got the best out of me. So I'm saying
Mhm.
that speaking life, I'm saying that being creative and how you motivate is going to bring the best out of, our children, bring the best out of our partners. Now, you can control a motherfucker with fear all day, don't get me wrong, but are you getting the best out of them? And
I
that's
think
what
it got to be a balance, Maul. I think it got to
okay.
be a little bit of balance of both, because if if your kids don't have fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to motivate them? Like, it could even be it's not even it's not
Love.
even a fear of, listen, it's not even a fear of an ass whipping or a fear of a curse out. It could be like a fear of a letdown. It could be like a
Yep.
fear of a not knowing. You know what I mean? Because it's not like Carly, for example. She needs a stern teacher, but she needs a stern, fun teacher that she can relate to. Like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So she don't want to let me down. So she does great in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when she don't do great in school, like let's say she have a bad day, she come home and a look on her face, I'd be like, "What happened today?" And she'll go to tell me, and we'll talk it out. Where I'm a different parent. Each kid, I feel like that I had, the oldest one to the second one, I'm a different parent to Carly than I was to
Mm-hmm.
Chloe, because I'm a little more mature
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
and a little more stable, and I understand, that, like, Chloe taught me responsibility and Carly taught me love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this new little baby, this nigga is teaching me patience.
But you know what? And I think that's how it's set up to be. My daughter taught me patience.
Mm.
My daughter, I swear to God, she taught me patience.
Mm.
My son taught me understanding.
Mm.
And that's go to the next point. Sometimes we don't listen to our kids. We think
Mm-hmm.
that we're the parent, this is the way it's supposed to be, but I call it kid logic. Sometimes my
Mm-hmm.
son will say things and I'll listen to him and I'll be like, yo, that don't make sense in real world. But I see the logic in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from. And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some parents kill that in their kid because they don't allow
Yeah,
them to talk to them. They don't allow them to say anything. So me and my
I
son, he's 15. We got a great bond. Some of the things he come home and tell me, I be feeling funny, like, oh snap.
me
I don't want to talk to
too.
my
Mm-hmm.
son about this.
Me
But
too.
I love the bond because he can come and talk to me about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
even when I'm mad at him or he do something dumb, my first question is like, dog, what was you thinking? Why did you
Right.
do this? What was your logic in it? Well, Dad, I thought this, and this. And then I can kind of look, okay, through a child's eyes with no real world experience.
When
I
you was
see why
yeah,
you did it. But
yeah.
it doesn't work like that, Jay. It works like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're on punishment
Mm-hmm.
because you did X, Y, Z. But listen, it doesn't work like this, and that just opened up. So at 15, my son really don't get into much because he come home to me. He came home to me not too long ago and told me something. He told me something that he was out with his friends, and one of his friends had something, and he came home. I'm like, "Why you home?" He said, "Dad, because I remember we talked about X, Y, Z, and they doing this and that and that and that." And I was so proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was the respect, and his thing is like, Dad, and he always say, Dad, I don't want to let you down. I love to
Mm-hmm.
hear that more than Dad, I don't want to whoop him. Dad, I don't want to get on punishment.
Mm-hmm.
That letdown piece is so much, and I think that's missing. You know,
Yeah,
that
I think
that
it's definitely a balance. It has to be
right.
that balance, like that fear balance, in a like you my dog balance. But me and my daughter had to get there, and it's like me and my oldest daughter, we have a great relationship now, and it's like, and she's a totally different kid than me. And just today, my mom texted me and said, "Don't let her go to this party." Right now, mind you, Chloe didn't text me yet to ask me to go to the party, so I didn't even know she wanted to go to a party. So when she texted me, asked me, "Could she go to the party?" I really know because it's like my mom telling me don't let her go, but Chloe is not a bad kid, and she really don't go nowhere, and she go with my cousins. It's like a family party, but it is an adult party. But at 16 going on 17, she drives, she does a lot, but she's responsible and she's respectful. She not like a regular 16 to 17-year-old that's out here. She not like a me that's out here like I was a little, I had a boyfriend, I was, doing stuff. She not like that at all. So it's kind of like I gotta give her rope. So every time I give her a lot of rope, that's what she do. She hang herself, and then she gotta come right back. So we gotta find a so for my mom, she sheltered me, so it's kind of like I used to sneak at 16. But for Chloe, she don't gotta sneak because she just asked, and sometimes I say yes, and sometimes I say no. Like the other day, she wanted to go to mom. Can me and my friends go to the studio? My girlfriend, boyfriend rep. Okay, no.
Mm-hmm.
She had an attitude, but when you grow up, you understand. You know what I
You know,
mean?
but
Hey, hey,
I
hey,
think that's
hey.
just.
Um,
Hmm.
so,
I
so,
think. I'm sorry.
go ahead. I want to comment after you. Go ahead. I want to hear what you guys said.
I think that's just it. One of the things my dad used to do. My dad, he always say, "I'm gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but right
Mm-hmm.
before you hang yourself, I'm gonna pull you up." And he
Mm-hmm.
would do that. And I learned that lesson with my son. Sometimes kids, they got it made up in their mind. So sometimes you gotta let them step out there to realize, oh snap, this ain't where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a fine balance and it based off relationships and knowing your children and being playing a effective role in their life.
Mm-hmm.
All parents don't play an effective role in their children's life. Some parents are there just as the provider to their child. Some
Mm-hmm.
parents are there just as friends to their child. Some parents are there
Mm-hmm.
just as disciplinary. Like you said, it has to be it has to be an even distribution. It has to be an even makeup. So like
Mm-hmm.
with my kids, certain things my son say he want to do, and I say, nah, you need to do it this way. But Dad, I want to do it this way. If it's not going to hurt him, I'll let him take that journey.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, I want him to feel the experience for himself. But I know where he's going to end up. We've been through it. So I know how far to let him go. Like I said, man, my dad, God rest soul, one of the best dads in the world. He taught me so many lessons by giving me what I wanted. Think about what I
Mm-hmm.
just said. We ask for stuff that we don't even realize we can't handle or we don't need. That's just growing up. So I learned, I became the man I am today and learned the most lessons based off of him giving me things that I thought I wanted and let me do things I thought I wanted to do.
And I think this generation right now, like her generation, was like these boys. I feel like they all are lost. I feel like they don't have like love, and they don't have like, cause it's so crazy. Like the little quote unquote boyfriends that she be talking to. I get on the phone with them, and they be like, "Oh, mom," and it's like, "I ain't your mom, bro." And it's kind of like, but I feel like they're looking for love.
Right.
So who loves them in the streets? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, who's paying them any mind? Because all their parents want to do is 9 times out of 10 get them dressed, and their parents is probably still out in the streets. You know what I'm
So,
saying? So it's I feel bad for them because I feel like they all crying out for love.
and it's crazy because I had one of my son's friends come over every weekend. I got a house full of little young boys.
Mm,
Mr. Moore, can we do this? Mr. Moore, can we do that? And I do things with them. I had one of their parents call me the other day and say, "Hey, is my son there?" I'm like, "Yeah." Can I speak with him? I said, "No problem." Then she asked to speak to me. She said, "Yo, he out of control. I didn't know he was there." So I pulled him aside. "Hold up, you told me your mom knew." I said, "You do that again, you're not welcome to my house." And a lot of my son's parents is lacking the father figure. So they come to me, "Mr. Moore, can you help me with prom? Mr. Moore, can you help me with this?" And I'll take care of them, but I make them earn it. But at the
mm,
same time, it's lacking. We need more parental figures, male or
mhm,
female. We need someone to take that interest in that child, to see him
mhm,
So
going on down the wrong road and showing him something different.
let me add to that. So one of the things that's interesting, and Bradshaw, you tapped on this earlier. Brother, what's your name again?
My name's John. My name's John.
All right, Maul, nice to meet you for one.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure having a conversation with you. I just want to make sure I was just acknowledging you the proper way. So
Appreciate
John, you tapped in on it, and Bradshaw, you tapped in on it too. You mentioned earlier, Bradshaw, you were saying, being a single parent, just a single mom, is a lot of pressure when you're raising your children. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And John, you had mentioned, that a lot of the youngins that hang with your sons, or hang with your son, or whatever the case may be, a lot of them are lacking a male figure. So one of the things I thought about, I'm like, Dad, some of the parenting that we're choosing, even as single parents, I feel like some of it is like you're overcompensating because you have to play the role of a quote unquote mother, and you still have to
you. Oh,
still be a
buddy.
disciplinarian. And
mhm,
what happens sometimes is the side of discipline, sometimes it overpowers, that feel of love, that's also needed to raise, a child. And, a lot of times it's interesting because even with some of the young boys, and it's I'm going to tell you why it's tough, why it's interesting, and it appears to be very tough because if you're a single parent mother, you have to have love, then you have to have discipline, but then you have to prepare them for the world, right?
Wow.
So preparing them for the world is shitty. So you got to give them thick skin. Now, thick skin looks like, boy, stop crying, get up, whatever, woo woo, right? Then discipline looks like, um, nigga, stop playing with me. You know what I mean? You're not gonna play them games. Get upstairs to your room. Woo, woo, you was out of line. You know. And love may look like I bought you some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? I got you a nice outfit. But it's like you getting double the discipline, you getting double the reprimand, but you getting slighted when it comes to the actual affection. Not so love can come in the form of gifts, whatever the case may be. And as a parent, I'm doing my job. I got him looking good. You know what I mean? They got food on the table, woo, woo. But sometimes that affection, you know what I'm saying, is a piece that's also. And so, like, for me, like you said, Bradshaw, it is about the discipline. It is about the reprimand. It is about every once in a while they got to get their asses cussed out. I mean, we're not playing that game. It's completely understood. It's not the Brady Bunch around here. But what I'm saying is, it's the balance that's very key. I can go in on my kids, I've gone in on my kids and they laugh at me, and I love it to a certain degree. It's times where I'm kind of lightweight serious, kind of lightweight not, but I'm going in on them, and they'll kind of like laugh, and I feel good because I feel good that they don't fear me. I feel good that they understand you're out of fucking line, and he's well within his right to be getting in our ass right now because we out of pocket. But they're not scared, afraid. You know what I mean? And that's a difference. And I know when a child is afraid, when they fear you, something has gotten taken away from them. And you know what I mean? And that's why for me, balance is in having a relationship, having a real relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like them really caring about me, really caring about how was your day? You know, those type of things, that connection. And I think that's something that we have to make sure that we're inserting. Discipline them, prepare them for the world. Because y'all know they're going to be cussing y'all out in the world. So you're going to take some of this a little bit because this is just how life is. But I want you to know without a shadow of a doubt, if something happens to me today or tomorrow, I know my kids intrinsically know deep down that this motherfucker really cared. Like he loved us and he showed us love, you know what I mean? And that's the part that just for our, you know, for our communities, for our relationships, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, for just our whole ecosystem, the love part. We don't even got love making music, you know what I'm saying? You know, we you know what I'm saying? We fucking to a fast beat. We ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't no Marvin Gaye-ish type, you know what I mean? It ain't no, you know what I mean?
What you talking?
You know what I'm saying?
You
So
start talking about Marvin Gaye.
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying we have like, and that comes with, and that starts with the tone that we take with each other. That starts with how was your day. That starts with being pleasant, you know what I mean, to each other. If we're talking about it's not what you say, it's
That's
how
how
you
you
say it.
feel. Right.
That's the affection. That's the love. When look, I would scrape my knee, and grandma would be like, "Baby, you all right?" God damn it, you just warmed my soul. My knee feeling better already. You know what I'm saying? It's the tone. She knew how to
Right.
heal us. She
I feel
healed us
like
with words. She healed us with her affection. You know what I
when
mean?
people when people are used to being talked to a certain type of way, like it's kind of like a learned behavior, right? So
Yeah.
it becomes a part of their vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to be like, "Yo, man, back up," guess who started saying all of that? My kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's like, um, I had to change myself in order for my kids to be better. You know what I mean? Because things that I was saying, even though I'm talking to my friends, they try to talk to their friends like that.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this, 'cause I'm about to go, but I appreciate y'all for adding me. But that's a good point what you said. Certain time, my wife used to say, "Yo, your son act just like you. He disrespecting me like you do." Then I had to sit back one day, and when she would say something I didn't like, I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, whatever." So I'm sitting there and I hear my son say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, whatever." I'm like, "Yo, who are you talking to like that?" Then I thought about it, like, "Yo, he got that from me."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then I had to be like, "Oh, I had to do a self evaluation. Like, wow, she's right. She's not
Mm-hmm.
just complaining and bitching. She's not crazy. She got it from me." So we have to watch what we do because our children, they're going to emulate us.
I agree.
They're going to do what we do. Oh, dad do it. Mom do it. It's all right to do.
Mm-hmm.
And even the littlest things that we don't even think about, from the littlest body movements, from the littlest things we do, the way we put our shoes on. I'm looking at my son like, yo, he's doing everything just like me.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't even realize he's doing it
Mm-hmm.
like me because it's just so natural, it's fluid. So it naturally occurs. So we definitely it comes. I think that's the end all be all. I
Well,
think we
hold.
gotta watch ourselves. We gotta better ourselves so that the people watching us, the children who are following us and want to be like dad, want to be like mom,
So
have a
let me
good
ask you a question.
positive thing.
I like how you put that, John. You know what I mean? They are emulating us, right? So I got this
Mm-hmm.
different concept on my children, in particular my son. But I'm working on the dynamic and the mindset of even with my daughters, right? But with my sons. So and ladies, I want y'all to let me know how y'all feel about this, and if this is something that y'all kind of connect with, because I know
Real,
as a man, and I've given other
I'm gonna
men
jump
this
off.
example. Oh, you got Rod
I'm
John?
sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna jump off. I'm listening, but I got to jump off. 'Cause I
I
got to take
got
care
you.
of something.
Got
I
you.
appreciate
Appreciate
y'all
you.
for having me. Listen, y'all
Absolutely.
had this again. Hit me up. I'm on it. I got
We
you.
here
Rock and
every
load.
Wednesday at 8
Every
o'clock.
Wednesday.
Every
Hey, Wednesday, 8
Wednesday.
o'clock.
Every
I'm
Wednesday,
there.
8 o'clock.
I'm there.
My man.
Thank y'all. But I'm
Thank
listening.
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
So for me, you know what I mean, and I don't know if women have the same, you know what I'm saying, connection. And I want y'all to, just let me know if it's something that y'all connect with. So for me, I don't feel like I've been like messing with this perspective on my sons, like in particular my son that lives with me, with Idris. You know what I mean? I don't feel that I have a son, right? I
Huh?
feel so just follow me on this, right? You ready?
Go ahead.
So
I'm buddy. I don't feel like I have a.
I don't feel like I have a son. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like I'm raising.
You underwater, Mo. You want oh,
I'm
you
underwater.
underwater,
Hold up,
Mo. Oh, you underwater.
hold up, because this is about
Swimming with the fish,
to get deep. That's a little better.
Mo. No,
Word.
you're
No.
buffing.
What
You
about
swimming with the fish.
that? No. Yes.
Deep sea
No. Yes.
diving.
No.
Yeah, it's
Let's
better.
see.
That's
Okay, you
worse.
better.
That's better.
You're better.
Better. Okay. All right. So listen. All right. So think I don't think I have a son. What I look at in Idris is for me. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-uh. The water, bro. You went back underwater.
Yeah.
Turn your Wi-Fi off, me.
I did. I tried.
Our system would be horrible in that shop. He need the Wi-Fi on, and
Uh,
whatever he's doing,
What is it? What is like now? What's that like? No.
I just see your face with a.
it's
It
working
still ain't
now.
working.
Okay.
It's better or
It's
no?
Yeah,
working. You just can't hear
yeah.
because
Okay. I can hear it. All right. Now I can hear it. All right. So listen. So I don't look at Idris at him as a younger me. And what I'm giving the younger me is anything that worked for me or things that I needed when I was younger. I mean, to grow up and be the best. You know what I mean? And when you hear people say, if I knew then what I know, I look at like that's, oh, fuck. I'm done, man.
Mo, hang up and come back or something, Mo. Hang up and come back, Mo. The Davidson Ferns is not working.
child.
Sheree, did y'all start off by with the like what you like not what you say, how you say it? Do you think that can relate to like text messages? Like, do you
Yeah,
think that
that the girl that was
uh,
on here earlier. That's what she was talking about. She was saying.
what she said?
So she was pretty much just saying like that's been an issue for them. Like she feel like she need to just pick up the phone and communicate more with her spouse because she feels like the text messages get misconstrued and took in the wrong way.
Right.
So she was like, she like it's been causing friction with them. But she like, when I'm texting him, I think I'm being funny, but he like go to a whole nother level. Like he mad, he feeling some type of way, and it,
Mm,
all this other stuff. But I mean, with text messages, because she was like, he was in the parking authority and he was standing in line, and she had texted him and was like, hey, like, did you forget about me? Whatever was going on, and it just went totally left. And I was like, sometimes with those type of situations, like people tend to take their anger and frustration out on the person that it doesn't have anything to do
right.
with. So, like sometimes that's not cool either. So you'll get caught up into the situation because you not really thinking like, let me not feed into the negativity because I really didn't do nothing. So sometimes we don't think like that. We just react. So it was like, well, why the fuck you getting smart? Like, bitch, I just text you to see what the fuck you was doing. Now it's like, and on one left. So yeah, get me off of mute.
I just ain't want everybody to be like, I'm on the phone with Chloe. Yeah, they in her closet, I think, Chloe. Hold on. Grab some.
Yeah, so that's what she was saying. Who is this word? Oh.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
It ain't even gonna last long. I'm looking at like one bar. I don't even got nothing to say. That done burnt me out. Can you hear me?
we can hear you fine. You can say what you gonna say.
Yeah, I'm listening more. I'm just trying to get the clothes from the house.
You got a lot going on, Bradshaw. Yeah.
She off the phone.
So,
But
so
go ahead, we because
damn, it's
I
about
really want to know what you were talking about Idris because I want to know where you was going with that.
okay,
You don't feel
okay,
like you got a son,
right. So I don't necessarily look at Idris as my son. You know, what I mean, I look at him as a younger me. You know, and I feel that um, with a younger me, I'm going to give the younger me everything that I know that worked for me in life to give to him, and then I'm going to give him the things that what I mean that I feel like I needed when I was younger coming up. So when you hear somebody say, "I wish I knew then what I know now," I feel
right?
like my son, what I'm saying, is me then, and I'm him now. You know what I mean? And so I want to make sure that I put him in the right position and guide him in the right way. So
Right,
it's I look at him as really me. He's the second coming to me, and I feel like our children are really the second coming to us, and it's our job to coach them and guide them to be a better us. Like
right,
that's what it is. So we might have came from a long line of motherfuckers that was constantly trying to get the next generation to be better and may have been failing and failing. But it's our job to get, what I mean, our younger self better than our current self. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how I look,
I
what I'm
get
saying?
that, but I don't. I get it, but I don't. I get everything you said, but I don't get the part where I don't look at him as my son. You look at him as a younger you. I probably don't get that part because I feel like I think parents as we grow, like before we even was parents, but as we growing and evolving, even having kids and still growing and evolving, of course you want your kids to be better than you because I feel like I wanted to be better than my mom. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And if we identify what the problems was with our parents, we are going to be better ourselves and we cannot make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I don't I get 100% what you're saying, but I don't get the part where you said I don't look at him as my son. I don't get that part.
Yeah. So I look at like I basically am treating him. You know what I'm saying? How I
Right,
would
but I
have
don't
wanted
get
to
the
be
part
treated when I was younger.
why you what's the correlation to him not you not looking at him like his son. I get
It,
why you saying it, but
yeah.
I don't get just that one phrase.
I mean, maybe I could say that phrase different, but he
No, I don't know.
literally,
No, that's your
you know what I
phrase.
mean?
Your phrase is your phrase.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
asking.
no, because I'm not stuck on the phrase. It's all about everything else. It's not even like that part. It could be stated differently, but for me, just the type of love that I
That you
have
had
for him
for him.
is the
Right.
same
Okay.
love I have for
It's like
myself.
run deep.
I'm
Right.
not going to
Okay.
do it like I'm going to save his life like I would save. I'm saving my life when I save his. There is no difference. He
Right.
literally comes directly from me. He is me. So it's like, what I mean? It's funny because we have conversations and sometimes I'm like, son, you me. Like, trust me. I know what I'm talking about. And shit is crazy because it's almost like you talking to yourself in the future. And I noticed this once. Like I taught him how to cut hair, and we had like an event, a hair event, and for the first time he had showcase and he cut somebody hair, and this is in front over 100 people. It's probably like 200 people that was in the space, and he was cutting hair in front of everybody, and he was like he was doing his thing, like he didn't hesitate, he wasn't like nervous, you know what I mean? He just was like locked in, and like I'm not an overly I'm not a crier. You know what I mean? I'm an emotional person. Like, I got feelings. I'm compassionate, all that good stuff. But the shit started making my eyes water. I didn't even know where it came from. I didn't even know where it came from. And then it was like, in my mind, I'm thinking it was because it's like, I felt like if I died today or tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? I know that he's going to be good. It was just the weirdest feeling to me. You know what I mean? But then after the situation, this motherfucker comes to me and says, "Dad, I'm proud of you." I'm like, it was just something special. You know what I mean? But again, the reason why I'm
Don't
saying
cry
that
no
is because,
more. Don't have
huh?
me crying because I'm a crier.
I don't know what it was.
This
It,
song
like
from
like I
Mama
said,
Crying.
I'm not even no crier, but it really
No, because it's kind of like you don't like. My daughter was singing a song on a stage, and I was from my
mm,
eye, and it'd be like,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
mm.
so I get it 100%, and like I feel like for me, my mom, I ain't have a bad childhood at all. I ain't have a bad childhood, but some of the things like my mom didn't come to certain stuff, but she said my aunt. But
Mhm,
guess what? I'm just like my mom. That's like the
mhm,
great, and I'm a great, excellent parent. I'm an
mhm,
involved parent. But guess what?
for sure.
I don't be wanting to go to certain stuff. I send my sister, which is
Mhm.
crazy because so once but don't you know like you emulate certain stuff without
Yes,
you even thinking and knowing. So we are really like a product of like who raised us.
that's because you
And
are
that's
her.
like and that's like real crazy. So like I said, it's like all about how you change because even still to this day, my mom is not a she don't know how to communicate effectively at all, even still to this day.
Mhm,
And I realized that when I got a little older and I used to not communicate well, you know what I mean?
mhm,
And not, express how I feel when something happened right away and
mhm,
kind of let it linger. And then that's how I became angry because it's like all this stuff is going on inside of me that I
yeah,
never spoke up about. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole nother, that's like thousands of dollars worth of therapy. But um, yeah, so, but the bottom line is I'm really like my mom. So that's when I think it clicked in my brain. I gotta be better for my kids because they watching me. But you gotta be so that's why I said like these kids because even Wallahi the other day, like what I worked Tuesday, Chloe girlfriend, she called me and said, she called me mom, can I call you? And I was like, yeah, what's wrong? You alright? My brain goes to I think she pregnant.
and yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
tell me that she was pregnant, she didn't know what
Uh-huh.
to do. That's
Yeah.
what my brain went to, because that's something like I don't know. She's
Mhm,
17. I just thought that's what she called me for. She was calling me saying, "Can she like? Is it okay for her to like text me because she be having issues with boys and she wants to she just became Muslim and she wants to learn and all this other stuff and like she can't talk to her parents and her parents look down on her and she's about to graduate. They don't even care what school she goes to and it's just like how you know what I
mhm,
mean?
mhm.
But I didn't say that to her, but in my head
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
But see, that's the interesting part is too is like I use the concept too like that my child is me because sometimes I feel like when we grow older we forget about who we were when we were younger. We
right.
forget that we hated when our parents would whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's yell at us, not listen to
Mm,
us, not attend functions, and we just do the same shit to our kids. And it's like, no, you know what I mean? Make that adjustment to be the parent that you needed when
yeah,
you was coming up.
yeah,
Be that parent that you needed. You knew what you needed. You knew you hated when a motherfucker just scrutinized you or, didn't say, damn, I'm proud of you. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Whatever that is, like, give that to your child. Like now
yeah,
you're an adult. You have the power. If you walk around with your balls out, you big your chest all out, this and the third, you have the power to make that change to give your child a better experience and make and be in position to guide them to be a better version of of you. because that means they got all of the good stuff that you got, and they got the wisdom on all the stuff that you didn't get. So you should be giving them that too. So they should be better than you because they got what you got and they got more what you
Yeah.
didn't got. You know what you didn't get. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but again, and you know, we go off topic all the time. We grown.
All
This
the
is how it's
time.
gonna go. But ultimately, like when
It
we talk
definitely
about
comes back to it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's kind of like, hey y'all,
What happened to your hand?
I broke it.
How?
I fell.
how
When you fell?
I fell on Monday or Sunday. I think Monday. I fell on Monday
You fell on your
on my head. Yes. Say hi to Live. Say hi, Live.
what you got a sleepover going on over there?
I ain't home. I'm at my cousin. You know,
Uh,
it was the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the house.
got you for sure,
It
for
was
sure.
terrible. Not even about. Normally we be in Atlanta, but I'm homebound this week.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I said I was the only adult here with 17 kids. I don't know where no adult is.
They went out. They went out to the bar. You know, the night before Thanksgiving, you got to go out. You know what I mean?
Right. But
And get a little, you know.
really like not what you say is how you say it, and I really think that even like for my little kids, them little kids y'all just seen, my niece, she's so scared of me.
Mm,
I think she's scared of me because she see me whoop Carly ass. I don't want
mm-hmm.
to ass, but I never put my hands on it. It's like my godson. I used to barely be like a low key abuser to Chloe. Like
Mm-hmm.
I probably did, but
Yeah.
that's what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I started switching it up, now Chloe called me soft because I'm not an abuser to Carly. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
she know how you gave it to her.
parent, like I was a different parent.
Mm-hmm.
All I knew to whoop her ass. I used to get my ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
She said wait.
So we definitely like.
Jenna.
Mama, I asked her when we got off here. I said, how do you not say? Well, it's not what you say, how you say it. I'm talking about like the topic, but how do you say stuff in text messages? Like, do you think text messages always get took out of content?
I think it depend on I think it depend on that's why I asked I asked her earlier, like, you know what I mean, Crystal, I asked Crystal earlier, like what spaces y'all in? Because a lot of times it depends on the space that y'all already in. If y'all, you know what I mean, already in a funky space and you text messaging somebody and you know what I mean, a lot of times you already got something that's on your mind or that hasn't been resolved, and you're not gonna give that text message the benefit of the doubt. But if you know y'all in a great space, y'all got finished laughing about some shit earlier, and this motherfucker hit you with some shit, you know what I mean? You feel more confident, I think, about, you know what I mean, where y'all at, and you're gonna give the text message the benefit of the doubt, even if it seemed like what type of time you on? You just gonna take it and, you know what I mean, flip it around and throw something,
Okay.
you know, with some energy back. That's what I think.
Think the energy that's going between the two people or the person. It could be like your girlfriend or like your spouse. It could be a coworker or whatever. And like sometimes you be like for me, I think I'm struggling now with me being like doing a transition
Mm-hmm.
from a stylist to a luxury assistant specialist.
Mm.
Um, I'm struggling with you
Okay.
know the, like with the professionalism with my client. And like one of my clients kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with her text, and I, addressed it, and then she kind of did something else. So it's kind of like I don't really know how to take it, type of thing. It's like,
Y'all
but she
was
was
already
my
in,
friend,
y'all was
but
already in a
she was
bad
my
space.
client.
She had already rubbed you wrong prior to
Yeah,
this.
we was in a bad space because she already rubbed me wrong, and I addressed it when she came, and she kind of left in a bad space again,
Mm.
and I text her. I called her, but I'm still a little punk a little bit. Cherie say I'm like a punk a little bit.
No,
So
you're
I texted her. I called her, but I was kind of happy she didn't answer. So
not.
I texted her. And then I was like, yeah, she missed what I said, so I ain't just never text her back.
But
So
no, because so when we talk about not what you say is how you say it. This is the thing for me when it comes to, again, the relationships with the people we care about. Now that you have went from a stylist to I want you to give us that title again.
luxury extension specialist.
Luxury
Extension.
Luxury Extension Specialist. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
title.
Thank
So
you.
now that you're a luxury extension specialist, when you're responding to things as a professional luxury extension professional, right? Now I'm assuming now you're taking more time and patience with how you're responding to text messages. Am I correct?
Right. Correct.
So what I'm saying is within our relationships, within, you know what I mean, with the people that we care about, why aren't we taking that additional energy to rephrase, reword, think about it, you know what I'm saying, and put our best foot forward. Like, you know what I mean? And that's my thing. I don't think we always take the patience, the energy, and the additional time to be professional lovers, to be professional parents, to be professional um partners, professional. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a responsibility, your household, and I think that's something that we should be looking at as something that we should be taking professionally at times too, or at least the energy that we take with other things that we're supposed to be professionals at.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you think with some of those text messages you take the same, and it don't have to be you, but whatever, but or I'll just ask you directly, but
Uh-huh.
so do you think with that text message that you put out, because you know what I mean, do you think you put as much patience into, I don't know, response to the hubby or to the kids at times that you did with that responding to that text message with somebody that already rubbed you the wrong way?
No, it depends. No, for the most part, no, because I feel like when I'm being a professional, I don't respond right away because sometimes I don't want to say the wrong things. But if I'm arguing with my husband or me and my daughter are going back and forth, I'm just responding. I don't take that extra step to think and process what they're saying. I'm thinking to respond, not thinking to process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great point. That try to put that professionalism into your friendships and relationships instead of thinking to respond, think to um, you know, process it. Cause that's I need to process stuff. Cherie will tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, I don't get it, Cherie. And then the next day she'll call me like, did you figure it out? I'll be like, you know what? I did. I had to think about it, I had to look at it. So it takes me, call me
Mm-hmm.
slow, but it's an extra minute to, like, digest what I'm doing or saying because sometimes I really don't get it. Like I don't get it. So
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm actually a slow learner. Like, and I'm okay with that. Like, it takes me time to learn things, but I like to think once I get them, you know what I'm saying, then I,
I'm
I, I like start to, you know what I mean,
right.
yep, a certain level of mastery with it, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and then like I kind of lock in with it. So I feel like the same way. Like I'm a slow learner with things, but once I do get it, then I kind of, you know what I mean, I kind of like embrace it and start to manipulate it and kind of master it, to a certain degree, or at least work towards that.
Even
But
even with my cousin who house we have a Thanksgiving there, right? Not to bring her in, but to walk in the kitchen. She
mm-hmm,
was talking about Thanksgiving. I'm like, where we having Thanksgiving? Because this is our first year, literally in 7 years, having Thanksgiving in Philly. And she was like, well, I guess we can have it in my house or your house. And I was like, well, whichever one, it don't matter. We could pick one because it's either your house or my house. She's like, we can have it here. And I got the list and da-da-da-da, and what people can bring. And I said, and I made a comment. And off the rip, she took offense to it.
mm-hmm.
So the old me would have been like, fuck out of here. Like,
Mm.
how you gonna get mad because I asked you a question? So look, see, but let me say what I was about to say though, bro. Let me say what I was about saying? It wasn't what I said. It was my delivery.
Right.
So, but if I was if I wasn't understanding and understand what communication now, I would have been like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But so I said, whoa, we don't gotta go through that. Like this, like that. I'm asking a question. And she was like, well, it ain't what you said. I said, okay, I apologize.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. So let me get my ass up because I was about to say, like, damn, like it wasn't what I said, but how I said it. So, but that could have been a thing between us. Like, she could have been like, oh, you gotta come to my house. Dang, let me finish. This is Tippy. Oh, I didn't mean to step you on Instagram.
Hello. Damn. Something.
We is on therapy session. So this is my friend Cherie and it's her husband Maul.
Hello.
And they do a live thing every day. The Davidson Friends is on. You can follow it on YouTube. You can follow all 20 things on YouTube.
Here we go.
And, it's kind of like a podcast every Wednesday, so they talk about different topics. So this topic is not what you say, is how you say it. Okay. So I was just correcting myself because it wasn't what I said to you, it was how I said it. But I corrected myself, right? But I think if we wasn't grown in the space we was in, we would have been beefing, right?
I don't beef with people though.
Goodbye. But yeah, I think all of that comes with like growth.
No, that's. I mean, I just so when I'm looking at it like that, and there's just certain things that I evaluate. I'm like, we'll value, again, like if we had a job or whatever the case may be, we just value, everybody outside the house. If we had that same energy on the inside of our house, if just like imagine, having that type of, care, like just how you just did. You just corrected yourself, apologized, whatever the case may be, and that was a place of growth, and like that should be something that we aspire to do within our households, because our household should be a place of just like a sanctuary away from the bullshit that goes on outside on a daily basis that we have to go through. Like you should be excited and can't wait and looking forward to get home. And there's so many of us that when we come from a bullshit ass job, we look at the house and we just damn near dread going up in that motherfucker. And it's like, come on, we can't be stressing on both ends.
I think that'd be the problem with men, when men don't be wanting to come home and all of that, because women don't make it a safe place, quote unquote, and wanting to come to the house, or vice versa. When the men come home, they be like, oh, here come this nigga again. So I think all of that has something to do with, all tie in together with the whole not wanting to be, just involving and just being more conscious of how you act when somebody comes in, because you could be already mad at the kids, they didn't do their homework, they took you extra longer to help with 3 + 3. So when he comes, he might feel like you don't want him there, but it's like, no, bro, it ain't always about you.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right, talk to us. We got an additional, tap in right here, and
Hi.
Hey.
hello. Just let us know your name and how you feel about our topic. It's not what you say, it's how you say, or if you had, a particular, example that you want to tap in with, you can talk to us.
Yes, I'm Jennifer. It's my first time being on y'all live.
All right, glad
I
to have
listen
you
from
on.
time to time. I actually did. I wanted to say 2 different things, and it's crazy because I just had this conversation. Matter of fact, I logged on and then I got off and was on the phone. I was talking about how when one of y'all just mentioned about the different type of communication you have when it comes to business, and how it's so different when it's like somebody you know for a long time. It's taking
You breaking up. You might have to play with that Wi-Fi a little bit. Might have to go in another room. I had to do the same thing. It's still breaking up a little bit. How many bars you got up?
Come on.
It's still breaking up too.
Uh-huh. Might have to tap out and tap back in. Yeah, so Sharice, so how you know what I mean, we've been kind of going in. How you feel about, you know what I mean, just some of the discussion we've been having. And I know we about to tag off in a second, but just wanted to get like some of your input on it too.
Mm, I mean, I think it just go both ways. I mean, it does, what you say and how you say it does play a role, but we do have to keep in mind of, you know, how we treat people overall. And, sometimes a person can put a bad taste in your mouth. And so it's like when you do see them, you may not want to be bothered with them. So, of course, it's like, well, you're this type of way when you're at work, but you're not this type of way about when you're around me. Instead of, you know, feeling some type of way or making the situation worse, I think that, we should have a conversation about, being more open and trying to get a better understanding of like what's going on with that person. Like, why do you feel this way? And I mean, I think that sometimes, well, a lot of times we don't do that. Like, we really don't be caring. Like the guy said earlier that was on there, like, what he said with his wife is crazy that he sees his son treat the mom the same exact way that he treats his wife, and not really understanding how that, like, that effect that you have on your children, how you carry yourself around your children and things like that can rub off on them, and they can do the same exact thing. And if they're not being corrected, it can go on and on and on and on and on and really turn into something else because they've never been addressed by the person that they learned it from.
Gotcha.
So, it definitely is not what you say but how you say it. But at the same time, we do have to be mindful of our own behaviors and how we handle the people that's around us and things like that too. So, but you
Copy.
back down there?
Jennifer,
I
right?
hope so.
Is it
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm good now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like it's both sometimes. I feel like it's what you say and how you say it. And I learned that lesson from my kids because I also developed a bad habit from my mom. From, like, sometimes my kids would ask me something and me not answering them, they would assume it's a yes because I didn't get mad. Then it got to this point of me saying, I don't care. And then I realized how me saying I don't care was affecting my
Mm.
environment.
Wow.
So I had to reword and just sit and think. And I actually cringed when I had to start getting getting used to saying yes, no, because I got so used to saying I don't care. But like I said, I saw what it was doing to my environment, and I didn't like that because I do care. Because then if I don't answer you and you do something that I don't want you to do, I didn't give you an answer.
Right.
So then it becomes something different. What I was trying to say before when I was breaking up was I was having a conversation with my one of my close friends earlier about along the same lines of when you were saying you take on a different tone when it comes to being professional. And a lot of times when you establish long-term relationships, you get so used to how they are. You've been communicating for so long the same way, and when your friend who you can be kind of lax with when it comes to having conversation or doing business with sees you take a little more care with somebody else, they can get offended by that because then they feel, what's the word we always use?
Righty.
They feel like, I don't mind. It's right on the tip of my brain. I feel like I said it earlier. Entitled to that same sort of kindness. Like, well, why can't you be that way with me? It's like I can, but why would I? Because you've already. So when you really start to see the effects of how you communicate, that's when you'll change it. It gets hard to try to keep up this move for that one and this move for that one. You kind of get to a place where you want to be the same with everybody because you're being true to yourself. So then
Yeah.
kindness won't just be your professional way. It'll be your all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we was talking about. Like, um, and it's like, oh, you just gonna treat, you want to do the business with them because they giving you the money. Well, you gotta respect them a little bit because they doing business with you. It's kind of like your friends will take you for granted when it comes to business. It's a whole lot of elements to that. So you do become a little bit passive with some things when it comes to people you know for a while, as opposed to those people that you're trying to get to be more consistent with your
Right.
livelihood.
Yeah,
They're
how
already a
they
part of your
handling you.
livelihood.
Because the people that's handling you
Mm-hmm.
professionally is handling you professionally. And like you said, friends, family, spouse, they, you know what I mean? They just handle you any which way. They change up. When you at your job, it stay the same. It's the same.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I
you know
disagree
how
with
to
that.
go in and handle it.
Yeah, I disagree with that. And one of my biggest things is like, you know what I mean? Um, at the end of the day, a job is business. And so they can like you a little bit and all that there, but when they ready to get rid of you, they gonna get rid of you. And your family and the people that are in your household, in particular the people that's in your household, because we know we all got family. We was just born with these motherfuckers, and they might be different, completely different understandings of things and all that. But the people that's in your household, that's just so important because you know what I mean. At the end of the day, that's your ecosystem. That's your life. If you're mad at home, you have a mad life. If you sad at home, you have a sad life. If you're happy at home, you have a happy life. And we give all of this happiness as much as we can. We exert so much energy. We're trying to make somebody that really doesn't care about us. It's a relationship because we've been at jobs where we bust our ass and we try our best, and they get rid of your ass in a heartbeat. And the only people you got left is the people at home. And these are the people that we spend the least amount of energy trying to create a better ecosystem. So what I'm saying is work on making your own wonderland, that own, you know what I mean, space, that household. Work on it all coming together where we all treating each other with this. This is our new standard. We're not gonna say I don't care. We're not saying it. No. Because we do care. We're gonna say I love you. We're gonna say good morning. You know what I mean? We're gonna say have a nice day. We're gonna say how was your day? We gonna set that tone in here because we run this motherfucker and we gonna make this place an oasis. Now when we go out there, you know what I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do and handle business, don't get me wrong, and we know how it is out there. But when it come to us, if don't nobody give us the love us up, if don't nobody encourage us, if don't nobody motivate us, we gonna do it in here. That's how we gonna run this motherfucker. And that's what I'm saying. We have to create that ecosystem because again, it ain't no consistency at no job. They will get rid of your behind in a heartbeat and replace you. Unless you got like a doctorate, you can be replaced very easily. Very. Because
Do you
even a bachelor's degree is so commonplace. A master's is a doctor, yeah, that's hard to replace. But outside of that, they will replace you in a heartbeat. So I'm just saying, not to say don't give that energy at your workplace, but I'm saying create that same loving energy in your home space. And yes, it may take some time, it may take this, it may take that, but I think it's going to be most beneficial and worth it once you have that family that you can get that love from that you may not have gotten when you was coming up from certain people that should have gave it to you, and you giving it now. You know, we setting a tone. So that's my thoughts on it. Is create that, make that important. You know what I mean?
can I ask you a question?
Hmm.
Do you think that has to do with emotion? I mean, I think emotion is everything, but you can say those kind of things at work and not have to mean them. And I think that you become expendable at work because if somebody else comes along that can do a job better than you, that doesn't have anything to do with emotion. It has to do with like production and performance. So they don't really have to like you. You absolutely right. Anytime you're working for somebody else, you expendable. But at home, but then it's kind of like you brought together what was being said before, like practice the love everywhere. whether you're acceptable or not, because then it just becomes habit.
Mm-hmm.
And so then if you're doing it at home, it's not like you putting up a front at work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice when I get here with them.
Right. That's phony to me. And I've said before, like, you know, and I've seen situations like, if that, like, be phony with me then. Hey, baby, how was your day? Give me
That's
what you
hard.
get, Mr. Jenkins. Fuck it.
That's
I don't
hard.
want the real you if the real you is dull, if the real you is bland, if the real you is
No, but that's what
dismissive.
you
I
call
don't
the
want
real
that.
you. That's why you're saying it's the real you. And like I said, when people don't really take the time out to understand why that person is in that place, you're going to say, I want you to be fake. I want I know the real you. You don't know the real you. You don't know that real person. You don't really know, and you ain't even trying to get to know that real person. You're too busy judging based off of how they are at work or how they are with other people. And I'll be trying to figure out, like, why are we like this? Because, again, people don't wake up that way.
Mm-hmm.
People don't wake up and be like, I'm only going to be an asshole towards the person that I'm with. And that I'm going to go to work and be full of happiness.
You're surprised some people was raised
No,
like that.
I
that's
think
not.
it really,
No.
yeah.
Some people was raised like some. Listen, some people, some
No.
households. No, I'm gonna tell you what. I know households to this day that the mom and the dad, they had an estranged relationship or whatever the case may be. It was beef all the time. But the mom go to work, been working some. Working there for years, you have to maintain a certain level of professionalism, and the dad do the same thing. So they can put on the quote unquote front for work, but sometimes that's what I'm saying. Like when I say be phony, I'm saying if you can muster it up to give them energy, muster it up to give your household energy. It's sometimes that we gotta muster it up. You do it, and I do it. We might go home, and I might be tired. I might not be feeling, and I gotta be like, Dad, well, today they said we had a black and white day, and I had one black sock and one white sock, and then and sometimes I have to really muster it up and be like, yo, I had a long day, but it's not my child's fault. They really bonding with me because I'll be sorry, you know what I mean, if when later on down the line as they get older, they don't want to have no conversations with me. They don't want to check in on me. They don't want to tell me how their day was. They don't want to tell me about what was going on in their life. So, I'm just saying muster it up. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily, I don't necessarily want somebody to be fake per se, but I'm just saying, use that extra energy to muster it up for the people that you say care, that that you care about. Not that you say you care about, but that you care about. That's all I'm saying. And it's a group effort. So to what you saying, Cherie, I'm not, listen, it needs to be addressed when you're saying, hey, it's taking me too much energy to give you a smile, my nigga. We need to sit down and talk because I want to give you this smile. I got this big ass beautiful smile and I want to give it to you. But look, you got to work on this. You know what I mean? Like whatever that needs to be worked out. Like, I'm not saying just come in per se. If it needs to be worked out, let's make the environment right so we can all walk around this motherfucker like it's Adam and Eve. We got leaves on our chest and on our groin, and we just in our own oasis. You know what I mean? Let's work on that. And that may be having the difficult conversations about, some things that's making us feel some type of way. But ultimately, the goal is so that we can continue to speak life into each other. You know what I mean? Because, again, the outside world, they don't owe us that. I think we owe it to each other to speak life into each other. That I think that should be our responsibility in our households. You know what I mean? And we have the power to do that. So what? That's
Don't laugh, Jennifer. Don't laugh.
All
I'm
right.
just, it's just about improvement. Ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But it's about improvement, like we should,
Mm-hmm.
it's something to aspire to go to be to. That's all I'm saying. It's something to aspire to. It's something to work towards. You know what I mean? Like, let's not make the bar low, my nigga. Raise that bar up, because even if we don't make it all the way up there, we can get high enough and be like, damn, we is on some thorough shit. So that's all. Raise the bar. You know what I
I
mean?
think when we come home, we like, however you wanted to feel all day, you kind of like release. It's like you push that release button, like, and then you just like, decompress a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that at work because you don't want to look inadequate and all that. You don't want to be mad, like, oh my God, you know, you don't want to do that. But it's so funny because when you was talking, you made me think of that conversation. Have y'all seen it with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin?
No, what the talk to me?
I'll send you the YouTube link. But she said that. She said, come home and lie to me. She said, smile at me like you smile for that cracker that gave you that job. And I'm telling you, when it's a codependency thing, because if you depending on the people over here at the job to give you the check, well, the check is going to support your livelihood. And then you're going to show up for them all the time. She was basically saying, show up for me the same way.
Yes.
Because the value is really, it comes down to like the value system.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it for you to get your house in order as straight as you are for your job?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I heard when I heard them saying that. It's like how we value each other, and you hate to look at it as a monetary thing, but then when you become aware of it, that's when you can actually change how it looks in the house, I'm saying. Because you already know how it look at work. It's going to keep looking like that. That's how you keep the job. You do better, they give you a promotion, they give you more money.
Yep.
If somebody at home, if you acknowledge that they said something to you and you ain't like it, well, why? What's up? Well, we've been like this, you know. It's all that. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm tired now. I don't feel like dealing with it now. Like it's enough, and you don't get a paycheck for that.
And you know what's crazy though? The crazy part about it at work, the crazy part about work too is it's so deep because it's still only, it ain't even performance based all the time. It's motherfuckers that will be at a job for 10, 15, 20 years. A motherfucker come in, they'll train them, and that motherfucker be their manager because it's somebody that was brought in because they just knew somebody. It's so many people that the managerial positions don't know shit, and you know that job top to bottom, and they ain't got you on their radar to give you no raise or nothing, and they will get rid of your ass and bring another one of their friends or son-in-laws or you know what I mean cousins in there to take your place. So again, sometimes we'll be valuing this joint. We should to a certain degree. But in life, you know what I'm saying? You know, ultimately, you're doing all this for who? For what? You're getting this money for who? For what? You know what I mean? And that for who? For what is the thing ultimately you can't leave behind when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? You know, when it comes to maintaining that too. You know what I mean? Or it come to, like I said, speaking life into it, showing that respect for it, appreciating it. You know what I mean? Holding it in high regard, the same way we do a job. Because ultimately, they will let you go. And you could be a hard worker. I done seen it. Know what I mean? I done seen it. You work hard for a place, and they let you go. You get laid off, whatever. You know what I mean? You ain't getting laid off your family. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think that's important. You know what I mean? But holla at you. Be safe. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's important. You know what I mean? And we can do both. And we can do both. We can do both. It ain't got to be one or the other. We can do both. You know what I mean? And reality of it is, we had it way worse, and was loving up on our families even more. It's times where we, you know, we was in the trenches. You know what I mean? And it wasn't work. We wasn't getting paid nothing, and we was doing all the work. And we gave all the love because all we had was our family. All we had was, you know, each other. And we gave as much love as we could while we was together. Because we know once we went out there, they was on our ass. We might not even come back each day. So we gotta value, you know what I'm saying, the people that we love more. You know what I'm saying? Like that gotta be the marker. Like, what's the purpose then? You know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep on, you know, getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Like, what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta keep the purpose in mind, man. We beating each other up, and we could do better. That's my thoughts, and that's just as a community. It ain't, you know what I mean? I'm talking about I'm talking about black people because the reality of it is one relationship is just a microcosm of damn near all the relationships. The same thing you going through in your household. When we get on here, we have people telling us about issues. It's very rare that somebody gets on here with an issue in their relationship that we ain't go through. So it's just, we just one small microcosm of a bigger picture. So as a whole, we need to speak love into each other and positivity. As a whole, you know what I mean? We need to speak with more compassion. And we had that. Like I said, back in the day, my grandma, baby, you all right? How you feel? Come over here. Get Big Mama a hug. Like, just that softness, it warms you up. Just me saying that, I'm sure just over the internet, like just over this platform, just, hey, baby, you all right? Come over here. Give me a hug. Just that disposition alone is healing. It's healing. We lost our capacity to heal each other. And the first way you do it is through verbally. You know what I'm saying? So we breaking each other down. And that's my thoughts. You know what I
I
mean?
blame the internet. Desensitize every damn body. The
That too.
internet, emojis, and text messages.
Wow.
It screwed us all up.
So listen,
I agree.
so I know it's that time. Cherie, I know we gonna wrap him up. Jennifer, before we go, a lot what we like to do is give a closing thought, you know what I mean, to our discussion. So we would like to hear what your closing thoughts are on our discussion today.
Well, I came in on the end. Like I said, I think it's both. You said it's not what you say, but how you say it. But sometimes I think it can be both, depending on the conversation. But I do believe that we have like some layered issues that if we deal with them within ourselves, we'll always, to use the words you just said, be in a better disposition when it comes to anybody. Like, you'll be consistent with who you are, regardless of who you're talking to. You'll always be loving, or you'll always be evil. I mean, you can pick whichever one, but you
I
know,
know. How about that? Good point.
I guess it's about consistency. That's the C word. Lord have mercy.
All right.
Consistency.
We gonna have Cherie close us out. So I'm gonna say my closing. I'm gonna say my closing piece right here. So
their
that,
phones is
you know what I
breaking
mean?
up, y'all. I'm not sure what's going
My
on.
phone breaking up. Is my phone breaking up still?
Everybody's phone breaking up. A little bit. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. All right. So for my closing thoughts, what I would say is that it is what you say. It is what you say, and it is how you say it. Somewhere along the lines, we've lost the capacity to lift each other up. We've lost the capacity to heal each other. I feel that somewhere along the lines, we've gotten into a race of who could get the other person back, who can get more disrespectful. You know what I mean? Who can tear down the other person lower. And we have gotten in a place where we're justifying low vibration. We're justifying that plate with the burger, the hot dog, and some sloppy potato salad. We're justifying some Doritos. We're justifying low vibrational relationships. We're justifying low vibrational behaviors. Let's set the bar higher and work towards. Let's be real about what's good for us and what's bad for us. And
Phone's breaking up.
My freaking
Vibration tomorrow. I'm crying. Yes. Okay. Well, his phone is breaking up, yo. I totally appreciate everybody coming on. You want me on the panel, right? I got your picture, girl.
Yes.
I'm still looking for 2 women and 3 men. Everybody be acting scary, but they be on here want to come on. But I totally appreciate everybody coming on tonight. This was a great topic as always. And if anybody missed it, they can catch this on our YouTube channel. That's the Davises and Friends. The link is in my bio. And we are doing live in person on November the 30th, which is next Wednesday. So if anybody is interested in being on the panel, I'm still looking for 2 women and 3 men. So if you're interested, inbox me, let me know. It's from 7 to 9. And I appreciate y'all so much for coming on tonight. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Yeah.